Okay, so I want to just post this. I kind of have a really life situation that is in disarray and wanting to be able to connect. And I'm hoping that this will help to be able to bring the family system that I have into the right place to pay the debts that I owe, as far as like the spiritual debts, the financial debts. So it's really survival is why I'm making videos like this. So I've finally posted stuff on Medium about the Essence Festival, so now I feel comfortable actually making videos about my life because I sit at the fault line of two different cultures, and so I'm basically plate tectonics in the flesh. You know, I am igneous. I am igneous, okay? And so I need to work on the Bluebird variation, which is a really beautiful ballet variation. It's actually considered for beginners, but it's actually quite challenging to me. I struggled with the Mother's Day, Father's Day. I also celebrated my birthday as well. And because of the family system I have, maybe someone didn't tell me because maybe they're embarrassed by me, or another person, I could not open the email because I know that I have been minimized my whole life because of my form. Because of the rape trauma frequency that we come from, this form is actually a threat to the system. The family system. And so this is helping me to find the voice and have to actually face that reality and be hopefully like an older sibling or younger sibling that can still be like a family leader and pioneer, being able to articulate things of stories from the girls and women that came before that did not have a voice. So I see you. So let me start by saying that I think the generational transmission of information is really important, and I think that this is what we see with, unfortunately, with the Karmello Anthony and Nolan Wells, and may he rest in peace, which we all know that they took him out. If you're a water, a black person, and water to me will have a double meaning, right? Because I am both Nigerian and Black American ADOS. Water will have a really tragic meaning for me, but it will have meaning. And any black person knows that water has been a symbol for the journey in the West. And probably for a white person too, on some subconscious molecular level, there might be some draw to water when it comes to a black person. And so yeah, I think the generational transmission of information is important. And without that, I think what happens is you see young people that end up falling victim to the realities of the world. Particularly if you're a black young person, you fall victim to the realities of racism. You fall victim to the realities of racism, sexism, colorism, you know, all of the different things. And ageism. That's not a young black person, but I'm just saying in general. So I want to be honest about my story, and if you're younger, you could take something from it. Not everybody will be telling their stories, and if you have ancestry that's not from the United States, that does make things more difficult because you're first generation having to learn the truth of what's happening. That's part of my story. And also, if you are from the United States, that you would think that makes it easier, but not necessarily so, because there could be a person that's from one state that doesn't understand the story of the Deep South, for example. I mean, ask me how I know. Ask me how awkward that is to have somebody from another state, and me having African heritage too. Feel I have had to face the true heat of the situation, and being like, wait a second, why do I have more of a grasp on this than you do? So I'm just saying. So I'd like to share 6 memories. First, I'd like to say I'd like to share my story and be honest, because I think first it's going to be helpful for me, and then second, I think that this is really important because I don't know why it's important, but I know that it's more efficient this way. It helps to minimize casualties, and it just helps to be real about what we really are facing and dealing with, okay? These dance classes, do I really know the story? I don't have the privileges of these people that I'm around. I have a completely different story that includes race and gender, the confluence of the two, region. And it's okay to face that reality. And it's okay to have to make this, it's not okay, right? But it's necessary to have to make decisions based on these realities. And sometimes people will ignore them and pretend as if that's not your reality, but you're still valid in having that reality still and having to make those choices and decisions. I'm still valid. So I'm going to share different memories from when I was 7 years old, 6 memories. I'll be fast because I need to put my shoes on and get ready with my ballet work, okay? And so first memory, this is my blog post. Kites at the gas station. I always wanted a kite from the gas station. I never got one. Maybe there's a way to still get one of those animated kites. I remember my older brother would take me to around 7-Eleven and things like this, and I had a good relationship with him when I was young. And it's really sad because at this time, I've learned in recent years that he had also, at the same time of being nice to me, had been harming another sibling, another family member. So talking about these memories actually helps to integrate the reality of what our life actually was. Okay. Number 2, math. So this sibling also taught me math, and I love math. And because I am a girl child, and I think I'm actually the first on one side to be going to college, on the ADOS side, I think I might be among the first girl child. Is that told to me? No, I have to figure it out through process of elimination. And that's proof of the misogyny that I am coming from on this side. I come from a rape trauma frequency, from what I understand. This hasn't been confirmed yet, so. So this older boy sibling, would teach me math like hexagons, octagons. I liked octagons because, it had 8 sides. It had the most sides, so I liked it. I love basic multiplication tables, Rubik's Cubes. What else? Basic algebra with the X variable. I enjoyed doing that, and I remember he liked music. It originally liked 80s music like Mr. and U2. Some of the songs I would like from them will be because of his influence, okay? And then he settled on intellectual rap / hip hop, was in that direction eventually. And some of the people I've listened to in going to Apache Cafe, I don't know if you've ever been there in Georgia, and he would do spoken word. I wish that, he hadn't harmed this sibling, and I think that's why he pulled away. Even though I apologize for the times I harmed him, I think that this probably ends up being something that ends up being more because of the impact of it on, I'll just say it that way, because of the impact being more severe. So the third thing is the vineyard, which is a place that we lived, and I also went fishing with this older sibling, his older brother, and we caught a fish in a pond that was in this apartment complex. And it was really, really cool because we cut the top off of a milk jug, put the fish in the milk jug, filled it with water. It was alive for however long, a big fish might be alive in a half shaved off milk carton, gallon milk carton. And it died soon after, right? It's not going to actually be able to survive in those conditions. And the scales started to come off, and it started to smell like the toxic pond fish that it was. We had to throw it away. And still, I really enjoyed that. It was a babyhood ecology lesson, so to speak. Alright, the next thing, slinkies. We played with slinkies in the apartment complex. If they had an upstairs and a downstairs, there would be stairs and you could put slinkies on the stairs, so that was fun. Rubik's Cube, I'd like to solve a Rubik's Cube eventually, so that's 5 memories. And the last memory is the reality of intrafamilial abuse, which I've touched on in this, and I say touched on because I know that is very triggering for me, obviously, for my abuse in my own experience. And then also, still, I did cover this briefly, but I will be covering this on and on throughout this because it's a reality in my family system. Part of the way that I'm supposed to shut the fuck up is to just let things happen to me and let everyone else tell my story. And that's why even as I make this video, I don't know actually what I'm saying, what my voice is, but I did do this blog post and I have the blog from pre-birth until age 41. And that's why the stuff that's happening as around society, us, in other countries, because I'll also be covering stuff that will be connected to me via Nigerian heritage as well. No. We'll have to figure out what that voice is now within this form, And this is scary because it's a new thing where my mom lost the ability to speak the Igbo language, and I have the grandmother that is on, the ADOS grandmother speaks broken English. I think she dropped out of high school or before that. So who is my mom exactly? Who is my grandmother exactly? What is the language within this? So, let me go. I need to get to, I've been making these videos for a long time, but I actually need to get my butt in the studio and get to working. Okay, I look forward to talking again, and Act 1, Act 2, 6 goals in Act 1, and God willing, the exosphere, the stars, is where I desire to be. And I wish you the stars as well, actually.